go. Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Yo, it's Classic with Classic Codes Sports, man. Tapping in with y'all today. It's fight day. Yes, sir, it's fight day. I feel good. I got the adrenaline flowing through my body because Caleb Plant is fighting tonight and Jermall Charlo is fighting tonight. Charlo having gaps in between his performances in, as of the back end of his career here or whatever point in his career he is. Don't let me put retirement on him. But Jermall having some gaps in between his performances. So whenever we get to see him, regardless of who it's against, I'm always excited. Big fan of Jermall Charlo. Equally big fan of Caleb Plant. He returns to the ring. He tries to stay very consistent. Has had some gaps in his career too, but nothing too major as of late. And he's been pretty active. And Caleb has looked good in his last couple of fights. Even in his losses, represented himself well. Against Benavidez, looked great, real sharp in the first half of the fight. Legitimately got slowed down by Benavidez, landing the right shots in the right spots. Caleb admittedly saying, being slowed down by a certain body shot in the middle rounds and then gutting it out to get to a decision loss against a monstrous big fighter who was already moved up in weight in David Benavidez. So, that's not a bad loss on the resume. His only other loss being to Canelo Alvarez. And so Caleb Plant is a marquee fighter. He's not only marketable, clean cut, a family man. He's an exemplary guy. He takes the sport serious, eats right, stays around his weight. There's nothing bad to say about Caleb Plant. No documented ducking on his jacket. He is what we should all want our boxers to be. You know what I mean? He fights his style. His style is entertaining. He's a guy who has a reasonable punch output. Does he throw the most punches in the world? No, but he's also not having any fights where he's walking around staring, posturing, staring, staring. He doesn't fight like that. Caleb Plant is an action fighter, and he's also entertaining. He'll do the look away when he make you miss, and he'll entertain the crowd and show his style. So very excited to see Caleb fight. Again, I already covered who their opponents are. I don't want to spend much time on them because they haven't earned it, if I'm being honest. Here at the Classic Code Sports, make a name, right? And so this night is the night for those people to make me remember their names. And, hopefully for them, I can come back and say, well, this guy shocked the world, and we can actually start mentioning who those fighters are. But tonight is about Charlo and Plant setting up for their clash as far as I'm concerned. I need both of these guys to win their fights, and I need both of them to look good. Jermall, with the long layoff, fighting against older Benavidez, not David Benavidez, but Jose Benavidez, fighting against him and actually representing himself very well, looking good, combination punching, looking sturdy, never was hurt, mobility. He just looked really good in the fight. And so, with that being said, I have no reason to believe that he won't look stellar this evening. He's, again, a very sturdy fighter. His movement looked better, actually, in the Benavidez fight than normal because Big Jermall is normally one who likes to hold his ground a lot. And I wouldn't say that he was moving backwards against Benavidez or anything like that, but his movement laterally, side to side, making different types of angles, it wasn't as much of a straightforward approach as I'm accustomed to seeing. He was stepping off. He was mixing up his front hand. He's added elements to his game. It lets you know that the time that he has spent out of the ring, he has spent a good portion of it working and sharpening his craft. And so today I think that he'll put a massive ass whooping on his opponent. The guy has 5 losses, I believe. So I don't think anybody in the world with 5 losses is going to beat Jermall Charlo. And I could say the same thing for Caleb Plant. This fight is to set up a clash. So with that being said, let's move into the parlay of the day. I believe when I give out the parlay of the day that everybody should always bet with the business. Today is no different. This is set up for big money on the back end. So unless one of the two of them gets completely knocked out, Caleb Plant and Jermall Charlo will both be winners. Now, with them both being high favorites, you're going to need to bet on how they will win in order to make your parlay worth anything. If you want to throw small nuggets in to make your parlay worth a little more, while it's still early in the day, go to the Kermel Moton fight, pick him to win by knockout, and I probably will pick the under on rounds if that's available. I know sometimes they limit the amount of the detail in the picks when the fight is earlier on and it's like, horrible odds. So if you can pick Carmel Moten by knockout, go with that. If you're able to make it even more specific, I would take Carmel by knockout in the early rounds, first half of the fight, because he's probably only fighting a six rounder, probably maybe an 8, but it won't go that long. The guy is very young, energetic, and he punches a lot. So he's one of those guys that can get a action, just a volume stoppage. Just I'm punching on you, whether you go down or not, but you're not punching back, and the ref's seen enough. He can get one of those type of stoppages, even if he can't hurt the guy. So I would say take that pick. In the Kyron Davis fight, I would take Kyron Davis to win. Before I tell you how, let me look up who Kyron is fighting. I don't want to give you guys ignorant picks because I'm going to make the same bet with you guys. So we'll win together or lose together if y'all bet with me, right? But Kyron Davis, allergies acting up, y'all. I'm sorry about that, chat. Kyron Davis, in case y'all don't know, he's 19-3-1 with 6 KOs. So he's not a big knockout artist, but he's a very durable fighter. His only knockout loss was to David Benavidez, which there's no shame in that. And he was a much smaller man than Benavidez when they fought. And he actually carried that fight into the later rounds. He's a very, very durable fighter. So I can assure you that he won't be knocked out. The guy that he's fighting, though, it looks like he's 7-0 with 7 knockouts. And so Kyron Davis is supposed to be getting served up to this gentleman. Because I don't know much about Yoeli Hernandez, because I don't know much about him, I'm going to say not to pick the winner of this fight and just pick the over on rounds because, like I said, Kyron Davis is very, very durable. So, again, the first pick, Carmel Moten by knockout early if you can bet it, or just knockout if that's available, depending on what app you on. Then I will go Kyron Davis. Not Kyron Davis, but I would go in the Kyron Davis fight, Davis versus Hernandez. I will go over on rounds, whatever those odds are. Just take the over. And then I wouldn't pick the winner, just over on rounds. And then going into the Caleb Plant fight, I would pick, let me look over Caleb Plant's opponent one more time so I can tell y'all how he's going to win. We have to pick how because, again, this card is very lopsided in regards to betting odds. So we're going to have to get detailed with our bets. Caleb's been sitting on his punches a lot better, and he's always been a guy to drop his opponents anyway, but he's been sitting on his punches a lot better with Breadman in his corner down the stretch of his career here. And his dad's been doing a great job as well. Shout out to Mr. Plant, his father. But he's fighting against Jose Armando Resendez. Now, let's see. He's 15-2, right? And he's got 11 KOs on his record, and he's been knocked out once. So this fighter seems like he's going to be there to get punched on. He's not going to beat Caleb. And this, if Caleb does end up stopping him, it'll be late. So part of me is saying I don't want to tell you guys to bet on Caleb to win by decision. This guy is a Mexican fighter. And the last time he lost was September 23rd of last year against Elijah Garcia. And Elijah Garcia has 13. So this guy could be knocked out. It wasn't that long ago the last time this guy got knocked out. So let's go like this, man. We can't. I ain't saying the scared man win nothing. So let's go like this, chat. For the parlay of the day, we're gonna go Carmel Moten by knockout early. We're gonna go in the Kyron Davis versus Hernandez fight. We're gonna take the over on rounds. In the Caleb Plant fight, we're gonna take Caleb by TKO or KO, whichever one. And then in the Charlo fight, we're gonna go TKO or KO. And we're not going to pick early or late. We're just going to pick that. We're going to put that 4 pick together, and we're going to bet we're going to win or lose together. That's how we rolling. But I think Caleb could stop the guy. Breadman has him, like I said, sitting on his punches a bit better, and the work he's been doing with his dad in between training camps with Breadman is really got Caleb in his bag in regards to strategically making adjustments throughout the fight, and those adjustments carrying him into, stoppages. He made great adjustments in the Durrell fight, and that ended in a one-punch knockout. He made adjustments. He made serious adjustments in the McCumbee fight, decided to bring the fight in a bit closer and take the fight on the inside, still kept his punch volume up and outfought McCumbee on the inside and eventually just stopped McCumbee. Landed great, solid shots, being able to turn over on his punches and everything. I mean, he just looked real sharp. And so I don't see this dude lasting the full 12. I think once Caleb get comfortable, figure out what the guy doing, unless he tough as nails, he's not going 12. So let's take Caleb by knockout. Let's just go ahead and risk it. Let's go that route. Let's say Caleb and Charlo both win by knockout tonight. So we going Carmel Moden. In short, Carmel Moden by KO early. The Davis Hernandez fight to go over on the rounds. Caleb by knockout. Charlo by knockout. Let's put the 4 pick in and let's see if we win. All right, y'all. We on to the next one for sure. It's the classic codes. I need you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the follow button. If y'all don't do nothing else, do it for me. Stick.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Harden my heart and that harden